Good Saturday morning to everybody. I'm a few minutes late today, but I couldn't give up that cup of coffee. It was good, so I enjoyed a little bit sip or two to take it a little bit longer. How are you today? I hope doing well. It is Saturday. Expect a lot of rain today. That's going to happen. It's a 100% chance that we'll get wet. Probably have some more thunderstorm activity after 3 o'clock. I would guess somewhere 4:30, 5 o'clock this afternoon. So expect that. We're going to talk about snow chances. What is going to happen with the winter storm that is above us? How far in Mississippi will it come? Will we get snowflakes? What will happen? We'll talk about all of that here in just a few moments as we start out. I hope you're doing well, got a smile, ready to face the world. All right, first off, let's look at what's going to happen with thunderstorm activity today. What is the chances of it becoming rough today? Now, let's pull up radar and look at this. This is what we've got today. The Mississippi Gulf Coast, if you're watching from New Orleans today, most likely it's going to be some strong thunderstorms there and taking in the entire Mississippi Gulf Coast along there, across Mobile, Crestview, and then Panama City area over here to Tallahassee has a little bit just east of Fort Walton Beach. There is a level 2 today for thunderstorm activity. Now, as you'll see, this light green area encompasses the entire state of Mississippi, which means we will get light rain throughout today is exactly what that means. Nothing serious with that. And we're going to go over this probably a couple times here and there to make sure that everybody understands what's going to be happening here. Let's turn off this severe and look at radar for what we've got going on right now. Let's turn that off and come back up. On radar out to our west, we've got rain moving in. This is Jackson, Mississippi, at Vicksburg, showers, and southward down toward the Natchez area, all through here, making their way up on Clinton, Mississippi. It's going to just ease right on across. We do have some light shower activity this morning in the Louisville area and on up towards Stark, Vegas. Now, as we look at all of these different colors here, what is this? This gray, desert sand color is a wind advisory for our friends in Alabama. And this will last until 6 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. As we go up, let's get into the Mississippi Delta. And let's turn off the radar where you can kind of see exactly where these lines are. All right, this is Greenwood, deep in the Delta, and this goes up toward Little Rock. What is this? This is a winter weather advisory until tomorrow at 12 p.m. at midnight. As we go northward, we get into Tupelo, all of this area here up near Memphis. And let's zoom in on this. This is Tupelo here. All of this area northward toward the Tennessee state line is a winter storm watch. And as we back out with this, the further this storm goes, the worse it's going to be. Fayetteville, Arkansas, as we look there, winter storm warning. So if you see pink, that is the actual warning that is going to take place. Knoxville, and this is like sitting in a little bit of a bowl from Chattanooga to Knoxville, not in that. Now, only one portion of Alabama, east of Huntsville, right here, is involved in any severe weather. Then we get into Atlanta. Y'all watch out that we could have some ice on that. We'll look at that here in a little bit. But as we go from Greenville, South Carolina, Charlotte, up here through Durham, Roanoke, this is a winter storm warning. They are going to receive lots and lots of snow over the next 48 hours as we get up in here. And this is going to go all the way to Pittsburgh. All this snow up here to Syracuse, New York. It's going to be some rough weather. If you've got somebody in your family that is in that area, going to be traveling south over the next 48 hours. Have a long talk with them. Understand that they know what the travel is going to be like. It'll be rough in some of these areas, and especially if they drive a rig trying to make it home. It's going to be a lot of snow up in these areas here, over a foot. Not quite so much down in here. We'll do the breakdown here in a minute of what's going to happen to our area. As we look at Oklahoma City, they've got wind advisories all the way down to Houston. And we'll go out here to Austin and these areas, and what's going on there? A fire weather warning. So windy all out here. But this is what we want to watch, all of this purple and blue and pink area over the next 48 hours and into Monday as we move into MLK Day of what's going to be going on. All right, that's what we've got so far as we look at the maps, and let's turn back on, let's turn this off, and let's turn the radar back on where we can see this. All right, already developing, and this is across Missouri, Kansas City, Topeka, Kansas. Look at all the snow that is starting to develop, and this will swoop down tomorrow morning through our area, and then it will turn and go up through this area here. So that is going to be happening. Snow starting, if you'll see here, here's Fayetteville, Arkansas. starting Bentonville, all of this area starting to see Fort Smith, starting to see a little bit of snow there. Now, we're not going to see any until morning in the state of Mississippi. We'll watch that carefully of that and keep you posted on that. And I always go live when things, get serious. We'll let you know about that. All right, let's back out now. And let's turn and go into what the National Weather Service tells us and do a breakdown of all this so you know exactly what to expect in our area and in the state of Mississippi and then onward from there. That's how we'll start.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As I said today, it is rain for us. And as we look at this map here, rain throughout Lauderdale, Kemper, Clark County, up through Philadelphia and Columbus, all this is just going to be wet, wet, wet. We've got a high of 57 in Meridian. A little bit warmer the further south we go. We'll get to 59 in Laurel, 61 in Hattiesburg, over to Jackson, 58, as we look across the state there. All right, let's go to Alabama, and pretty much the same carbon copy of what we've got here. Demopolis, Alabama, for our friends there, it's going to be 59 in rain. All this will go stretch over to heavy rain to Auburn, and then light rain in the eastern side of the county. But Hamilton, these areas, Jasper, expect some rain. And further south you go, again, warmer weather as we get down here. All right, this is the watches and warnings for the state of Mississippi as we look at this. Now, these are color-coded like we discussed a moment ago. You will see that Nashville here is under a winter storm watch. Winter storm advisory here, dipping into the Mississippi Delta right through here. This is Tupelo, and this is going to be right over in here. And we get up here, this is a winter storm warning there in Arkansas. But all the blue areas are winter storm watch. I would expect that to change as we develop and get later into this. But as you will see here, it's going to be mostly the northern part of Mississippi that's going to get the most of snow and storm activity with Izzy as it makes its way across here, down to about Tupelo. And we'll do the breakdown of where this is. All right. Here we are. This is what is expected for actual accumulation in the state of Mississippi. Again, let me say it's Mother Nature as we begin this. The Meridian area should get some dusting is what we're expecting. You will see snowflakes beginning Sunday morning throughout the day there. Not expected to stick. What we do have here, let me go back up to this. This is going to be northwest of Philadelphia. And we'll look at the map there. This is going to be just right above there, right outside the city limits there. On up into Winston County, Louisville, as you get to Mississippi State. At this point, Mississippi State area and these areas here, maybe a half an inch is what they're saying. The Meridian area, Kemper County, all down through here is expected to see snow flurries, but not stick due to the rain. That's going to be the cutoff there is what we're looking. Now, again, can this change and it'd be a little bit different? Yes, we're dealing with Mother Nature. But this is what is expected. This could go to 2 inches. In all likelihood, they're telling us about a half an inch is expected at Mississippi State, and that would affect right down through here in these areas here in the north part of the state. So anywhere north of Philadelphia, these areas here, watch your bridges. If you cross one, drive across them slow because all that will be different as we get up into northern Mississippi. All right, let's move across here. Alabama is going to get less than Mississippi is. It's going to be north of there, mostly for the most part, into Tennessee, having the most part there. But we'll watch this area, and it could get a half an inch up here above Birmingham, Gadsden, and these areas in Anniston. Could. Half an inch, we'll watch that up to 1 inch. But for the most part, that northern part of Mississippi will get a little bit more than here as it cuts up and moves on across the state of Alabama into Tennessee. Now, winds tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of gusts going down. The west side up here in the Mississippi Delta will have more. 34-mile-an-hour gust, 20 to 25-mile-an-hour sustained winds. We'll watch that. Alabama. There's a lot of area here under a wind advisory that we looked at just a moment ago, that desert color that we looked at. Birmingham, Gadsden, all of this down to Demopolis under a wind advisory. Now, as we look at this is the Nashville area of what they're expecting there. Nashville is going to get 5 inches. As you get up to Jamestown, 6 to 7 inches. And the further that you go up to the northeast, the deeper it will get. In some areas, as we go on up in that northeastern, up the coastline, it could get up to a foot. It's going to be a very serious storm causing a lot of travel issues there as we look at that. Now, this is the overview of what the Weather Channel tells us. Let me show you what the Weather Channel has here. This is what their forecast here. Here sits Meridian right here. And that is going to be a mix of rain and snow is what this purple area is. And again, this is the north part of the state. The blue is snow. And this is the mixed stuff that we will get. We will see some snow, but most likely will not stick. And as you follow this into Noxubee County, that eastern side here will have rain, is what is expected. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't change. I want to always say that, put a little out there, because we just don't get this stuff enough to know what really goes on. But that is what is forecasted at this point. Jackson could see some snow over the forest there and on up here in this Mississippi State area. We'll watch, see what happens. The forecast can always change in between now and then. Now, let me say this. As I brought up folks who drive for a living, if you got somebody that's a truck driver, this is what we're expecting with ice. This is very dangerous. If you've got somebody that's going to be coming through Atlanta, through Augusta, Georgia, all of these areas up through Charlotte, Fayetteville, Raleigh, North Carolina, Greensboro, Charlottesville, that's going to be ice. Make sure that they understand that if they've got to do any travel, that's going to be extremely dangerous on the eastern side of the United States over the next couple of days there as we watch this storm come through. Again, it's Izzy. That's what we're watching there. Now, as we move forward, what's temperature is going to do for us? We are a little bit lower than what we expected there. Mississippi is in a cool spell for the next 6 to 10 days. We'll look at the temperatures here in just a moment. As we cut across, and let's look at our temperatures of why and what's going to be happening here over the next 48 hours. As I said today, 100% chance of rain. Our high, 58. As we go into tomorrow, 38 degrees at the beginning of daybreak with that snow coming down. Now, if that were to drop 5 degrees, it would be a totally different situation for us in this area. Most likely not going to happen. By nightfall, we'll be at 29. So we'll need to watch bridges and crossways as we get up on Monday morning because of that temperature of the rain that fell, just to make sure when you're out and about. And by Monday, we're at 55. Low of 30, and as the week goes across, we manage to keep it in the 50s there. By Wednesday, we see rain once again, and that temperature jumping back up to nearly 70. Once the rain starts moving out, we'll dip back down into the 40s and 50s there. As we go ahead on into through January the 29th, we see some days of 40s and about 55 being the average there. We do make 60 degrees there on the 28th of January there. Looks like we'll have showers toward the end of the month. We'll watch that also as we come across with that. So we're not expecting any big snow at this point for our area. You will see snow flurries. And send us pictures once you get those. We'll start sharing that. See what really happens. That's going to be beginning tomorrow morning. Let's talk about deer hunting today. How is it going to be for the 15th of January? Well, it looks like it's going to be a good day, even though the rain is coming. The best time to hunt today says lunchtime from about 11 o'clock to 1:30 to 2 o'clock is what they're forecasting to be the best. Now, keep in mind, if you're going to be up a tree, you've got rain today, a southeast wind, 5 to 15 miles an hour with gusts of 20 miles an hour. So if you're out and about in the woods, keep that in mind. But I've killed good deer in the wind before, in the rain. We all have. Don't let that deter you if you're determined to be out there this afternoon. Just watch the sky for thunderstorms as we look at that. So that's an overview of what we're expecting with the storm. Some light dusting here. It should be somewhere around Louisville, Starkville, northwest. And let's go back to the map and show you exactly where we are on this. Let me pull this up here. Let's get back into Mississippi. Pull this up here where you can see here. Here's the map. Here's the Mississippi Delta. And as we look at this, let's turn on locations where you can see here. As we get into this northwest of Philadelphia, the city limits are about right here. This is going to be probably about right in here to where you could start seeing a little bit of accumulation there at Arlington. Right here in this northeastern corner here of Neshoba County, and then taking in most of Winston County on through Mississippi State. Now, they're saying at this point maybe a half an inch through this area here. As you get down in these areas across here of Lauderdale County, Newton County, we're looking at a dusting at most, mixed with a little rain, a little snow. So we'll see what happens. The forecast may change. We'll be on top of that to make sure that you know all about it. Just light showers on radar right now, moving in through the Vicksburg area. Meridian pretty much rain-free. We do have some light showers in Noxubee there in Winston County and around Mississippi State. Nothing heavy at this point. And we don't have anything serious yet up here in the Delta area. Tupelo getting some light showers, and out to the west there in Arkansas, a little bit of rain there. We'll keep watching this. And a good morning to each and every one of you for joining us today. I'll keep you posted, and we'll put up some maps and things, and I'll put up the forecast. I'll post that in just a moment so that you've got a closer look at all of this. So that's it. Thank you for joining me, and we'll be watching the weather all throughout this to keep you posted as to what happens. So thank you so much, and we'll be back. Thanks for joining us here at Scotty Ray's Weather. Thanks to all the sponsors that make it happen every day. Can't do it without y'all. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by